So part of the mindset shift that you need in order to master trading is you need to be happy about facing barriers, because they're a sign that you're actually progressing. So then what you do is you repeat this process. You learn another component, you practice it, you get feedback on it. You go over the barriers that you face and you repeat it again and again and again. And what happens is eventually you learn all of the strategy. So by breaking down a method of trading, right? Now, obviously, we're advocates of our instructors and our infrastructure because we know our instructors are vetted traders. They've been trading for decades. They can actually do it, right? And so we're advocates of what we do and what we teach. But there are many traders out there that can do this, right? So however you decide to approach it, this is the principle that you need to follow, right? Don't try and study everything at once. Focus on one small element, practice that one small element, right? And repeat that process over and over again until you've learned all of the elements. Now, what this will allow you to do is allow you to be in a position where you have a firm understanding of the complete strategy. Because what most people do is they just kind of skim the surface of a strategy. And what we recommend is this. If you imagine a strategy like an iceberg, generally with an iceberg, you only see the tip. So what a lot of students will do is they see all of these strategies out there and they'll just do a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. What we recommend is don't do that. Instead, focus on depth versus breadth, right? So instead of trying to cover a lot of different things, focus on one strategy, one method, one mentor, right? One trader that you can genuinely trust. Focus on one individual and study what they do to the nth degree. Right, really focus in and do that. And what will happen is you'll end up knowing what they do. Okay, so what's next? The first thing you need to do is, now that you understand the full width and breadth of a strategy, is you need to backtest that properly as a complete strategy. And what this will do is it will allow you to get a full understanding of whether you've learned the strategy properly or not. Okay, so you need to backtest it. So that is testing it under historical conditions. And you're going to learn a huge amount about whether you have mastered the strategy or not by this point. Again, a demo account is not being used. No broker is needed. So when we come into the cafe and we're like, you shouldn't be asking a question on which broker you need. This is why, right? You don't need it. So the first step of phase 2 of testing is backtest. Now, once you've done that and you've backtested it and you feel confident with the strategy, now you need to forward test it with a demo account. Okay, so now we get our demo account up. Now, what's your goal here? Well, your goal is to achieve 3% consistent growth per month in a demo account, right? This is your target, guys, right? 3% consistent growth on a monthly basis. That's what you're gunning for. So you need to be forward testing on a demo account. Now, what will this allow you to do? Well, it's not just going to test your knowledge of the actual strategy that you've been studying, but it's going to test your patience. It's going to test your psychology and the mental side. Nothing is short, but comparatively, trades can go a lot quicker, right? You don't have to wait for the actual time to pass. Whereas if you're trading with a demo account, real time is happening. And so you're going to learn a lot about your psychology, about the way that you interact with the method that you've been studying of trading. Your goal, hit that 3% growth. Now, once you've achieved that, and you can do that for at least 3 months, okay? We actually recommend 5, but if you do 3 months, that's great, okay, at a minimum. Then you move on to the next stage of the testing phase. And this is where you forward test on a small live account. Now, how big is a small live account? Well, remember, while you're doing all of these phases, you're earning more money. You've reduced your expenses. All of a sudden, you've got hundreds of dollars or pounds coming into your account every month. And you're not blowing it away with trades that you shouldn't be placing, right? So you're accumulating money. Now you take $1,000. Right? And a small account, so less than $1,000. And now you are testing everything you've been doing with real money. Okay. Now you've got skin in the game. Okay. Now you've got skin in the game. And your goal, the same, 3% consistent growth per month. That's your goal. And once you achieve that, congratulations, you are ready to party. So then we enter in to the next stage. You are now fully tested. You've learned the strategy. You've fully tested the strategy. And now you are ready to enter into phase, let's get this right, so phase 3, this is where you scale your account to freedom.